Happy Monday, round 2. Monday is my mentoring day. Spend the day mentoring the people on my team. It's been a busy morning. Just Zoom calls and connecting. And it's been great. Every Monday, I basically set aside pretty much the whole day to be there for my team, to connect with them, to answer questions. And again, some people I meet weekly, some people monthly, some people quarterly. It's just amazing, when you work with great people. So good. Anyway, this is my break. And then after this, I'm gonna go back to mentoring more people. So some people are easier to do in the morning, some people in the afternoon, and usually at 2 o'clock, I take my break to come live with you guys to see how I can bring some value. I see Tariq here in the discussion. See how we can help. Happy Monday. Let's go, everybody. There he is.
Kevin.
How you doing, Terry?
I'm good. I can't complain, man. I'm just excited to be here with you.
I love it. Where's home for you?
Cape Town, South Africa at the moment, 9 o'clock as we speak.
9 o'clock? Is that what you said?
Yeah. I
Nice.
think it's only 2 o'clock by you.
Yeah, 7 hours. I love it, dude. I love it. Well, Tariq,
Love it.
Movement Makers program. As part of that, we do an IG live together. So what do we got, man? How can I help?
I forwarded some things to you, but like I said, Evan, you've just been, we've been going through some tough times lately, especially here in Cape Town. And I'm 40 as well, same as you. And I've spent pretty much, this is my start of getting live and actually getting my messages or stories out there. So woo woo! And thanks to you, because honestly, it was finding you in one of my most challenging years last year. With COVID and everything. I'm an architect by profession. I've been in that game for the last 2 decades. Before that, I was a professional swimmer. I was actually one of the first non-white swimmers to make it this side of the world. 50-meter butterfly was my speciality, but I had to give that all up to become a professional architect. It's been a journey and a half, business-wise, trying to work for others, to learn, gather your skills and stuff, especially in architecture. It's an apprentice game. You've got to learn first before you can play. But we started our companies while we were working as well and still studying, and found gaps wherever we could in graphic design, 3D design, wherever we could, just to gain our own skills and start businesses. But they were affected hectically last year. It's a matter of, gave me the opportunity to actually, you came along at that time, and I just started watching your videos, and you really inspired me, especially with your thing of your word, your belief is your thing. Yeah. And mine has become befriend, because I had to befriend, it comes down to self-talk and how we talk to ourselves, what we ask ourselves. And the more companies I work for, I notice a trend of how people actually find themselves, how their self-talk, and it got me visiting my previous selves, getting to here, befriending them, learning from them, and we find ourselves here. So you have a hell of a lot to do with that. And I just wanted to thank you for that firstly.
Cool, man. I received that. Thank you. Appreciate that.
Yeah. And it's just a matter of everything that you're doing, and your presence and how you uplift and inspire and help others has been kind of what I've been gearing towards. So there was a lot of synchronicities in terms of your videos, your content that you put out, that till actually joining this Movement Makers, taking the last that I had and actually investing on myself to be part of your program, has gotten me talking now. Because before I was using Instagram just to post some pictures and hopefully for my daughter one day to have a look at, and actually just to save pictures. I never used it in the way that you use it, or others that have been using it to teach, inspire, connect. And that's what I'm hoping to do, and with your guidance and obviously what you've already been doing for your last 2 decades or more. Anything you can do or advise has been helping a hell of a lot. I must just say.
I love it, man. So where do you want to take this? I mean, swimming, architecture, now befriend.
Yeah.
Do you want to be a coach? Do you want to have programs like author, speaker? What are you trying to do with it?
Well, that's where, because I'm at the infancy of it and have been visiting all these things, it's all of those kind of things, because I've coached before and swimming specifically, but where I'm at now is more on to help inspire and like I say, befriend people, you know, who might be going through the posts and the information I'm going to be sharing. It's about my experiences, what I went through on all these different, let's say, spheres of life, and the biggest lessons that I've learned. My wife has been absolutely phenomenal in all of it, because she's a neuropsychologist, so been analyzing me the whole way through, you know, and getting those to the crux of the matters, if I can say that, which I hope to share, and in sharing the stories, help others that might be going through similar things, you know. There are books that I'm busy with, and again, it's taking, say, what I learned in swimming, but now recently only understanding, because back then we were 10 to 20 years old. I was getting told what to do and doing it, but never understanding the reasonings or the methods behind it until now. So I've been reverse engineering everything I've learned to give the best possible information now. That's what I'm hoping to achieve.
Great. And so to the objective of what? Do you want to be a coach, speaker, author? Like, where do you
Speaker, author is where I'm seeing myself. Speaker, author, and just assisting if there's anyone that wanted to get in touch and actually just through the books or anything like that, it would, I'm hoping, share some light on where I'm coming from and how that could relate to others. And one of the books is about befriending oneself, you know, befriending it all, but starting with self. And hopefully through that, I would love to be able to be a speaker one day. And an author. I know you've written your books that also gave me some cuts, and it's a matter of getting any guidance in terms of publishing or where to even start with that, you know?
Yeah.
It's all those fears. Yeah.
I mean, you did the coaching when you were doing swimming.
Yeah.
And that was, how long ago was that?
That was from when I was 8 years old till 20 when I retired from that, yeah.
Okay, so
that was 20, like 30 years ago.
Yeah, that's fine. For the new thing about being a friend, it's great. And it's funny because when, so synchronistic, if you watch my IG stories this morning,
I do.
Posted a song called New Friend, which is the theme for my top 10 series. And the whole idea is discovering that his new friend is himself. So if you listen to the song,
I will check it out again.
Yeah, you should check it out. Lear Jetta is the guy who wrote it. But I posted that this morning, not even knowing what we're going to be talking about here. So it's funny how the world works like that. To be a great speaker and to be a great author, I think the best and fastest way to do it is to actually be a great coach. Because when you're speaking on stage, you're not talking to 5,000 people. You're talking to individuals.
Correct.
And when you're writing a book or when you're doing a speech, you don't have feedback immediately coming back as to is it working or not. You don't know what if it's landing. People in the stage in the seats are being kind of polite. I mean, people are probably not going to walk out on your speech.
Yeah.
Probably.
Probably. We hope.
Yeah, and politely kind of watch it, but they have objections in their head that they're not vocalizing. Same thing with a book. Like this takes a year to get out, and then afterwards, and the reviews, you get to see what people are thinking, and well, how about this, and how about that, and so really, what this is a combination of lots of me coaching.
Of course.
And then a lot of the book isn't even what I would normally do or see for myself. It's the result of me trying things on people, and then seeing what the reaction is. And then, that's it. I wouldn't have thought to react like that. But because they did, I can coach them to get the result.
Of course.
And then that becomes a better book. So same thing for you. If you're going to teach people how to become their own best friend, then you have your process that worked, and you've got the heart and the care and the humbleness and the love to make the shift in people. What I would recommend is doing the coaching to get a sense of how much of what worked for you will work for other people, and how much pushback on. You say, well, I can't do it like that because of X, Y, Z. And then you say, well, of course you can do it. Just do it like this. And in that pushback, that's where you get the book.
For sure.
That's speech. You have to know how people, because if you're not pushing on people, then you're not a great speaker or a great author. Like if it's like, oh, great, yeah, easy, they're not going to go home and do anything. You have to hit a nerve to realize that they're struggling with this, and then guide them to get to the next step. And so if I'm you, I practice coaching, and some of it may come back quickly because you did it a couple decades ago. But that would be my immediate. How many people need a friend right now? I mean,
and that's the thing. We're so isolated. We're so, you know, the world that we're living in now, and that I see my nephews and nieces and teenage friends going through, even at varsities at the moment, you know, with the shortage of work, shortage of interaction with people, it's nuts. And that's where just looking at the stats on loneliness and stuff really around the world, it's insane. And obviously my year last year with going from I was around a lot of people, had a lot of friends and stuff, to seeing almost nobody. I had to go within, and this is what came out, you know. And I hear exactly what you're saying. It's like through your videos and everything that I've watched from you. And obviously, most important, the movement makers, and hearing and listening to the advice that you're giving there. I am at the infancy, but I'm just so grateful that I have you. I have your campaign and the guys in it to help and assist with it, you know, in getting those stories out. So, yeah.
So listen. So I mean, I have. I don't know if you ever saw the story I did on Lily Ma, but I helped mentor and coach her to become a speaker. And I said, listen, if you want to be, you need to do coaching. She's doing a TED Talk, but loving coaching even more than speaking. And so that's her gig now. Coaching. Even if you don't want to be a full-time coach, it's a good pit stop along the way to being a better speaker. Same thing for Zane the Man. I saw him in the live a little bit a while ago, but he wanted to do a book. I was like, awesome, Zane. Pause the book for now and do coaching, because it'll make you a better coach. I mean, it also brings in much faster than a book will. And so, you know, the faster you can turn it into something that you can monetize as well, that allows you to full-time, that allows you to hire a team and all that. So I would immediately, whatever your process, your methodology is, like for somebody to go and become their own best friend again, there's certain steps they have to go through, right? There's your methodology. Of course. Right? Yeah. So you have your 8 steps or whatever it is. Through those 8 steps. And but like this, like Instagram lives, coach people through the 8 steps. Maybe somebody really is stuck on step 3, and that's where you spend focused on, and you don't have to worry about getting through all 8 each time. But in the coaching, spending half an hour with somebody on step 3, objections and how you handle the objections, but it won't work for me. Of course it will. And like, do this and try that. The trials and errors. Yeah, like and you believe in them, but you may not have the robust tool set yet, because you only know how it's worked for you and maybe some other friends, family, whatever. Of course, you've helped people. Of course. Not like official coaching. Of course. And in that process, it'll become a lot faster. And then when it's on autopilot, then you turn that into a book, a program, speaking gigs, etc. So that's what I would do if I was you. I would start my daily coaching show. You get people to share their story, and then how can you help? Try and help. I love that. Yeah, I absolutely love that, and I take that on. Like I said, I've noted that before. It's on my intentions list and how to approach this. So you're just reaffirming all of those things again, which is awesome. And I was just actually looking forward to we got to turn
this one-on-one with
intentions list into the action list.
Hell yeah, for sure. And as we speak, I'm busy with that at the moment because my architecture side is running and doing its thing. And right now, like I said, I'm focusing on me, which is all of this to get the message out and coach, like you say. So I'll be following your guidance and doing it. How that all comes out, that's going to be the working process, but it's about just taking action and doing it, which this all was.
Like, just copy this exactly.
Yeah.
I go most days, 2 o'clock Eastern, my time. Some people now, I mean, you're a part of Movement Maker, so you're part of my program, which is why we booked this. But otherwise, people would just join me. Like, there's a bunch of people who would love to come in and join live now if we weren't doing this. But when I started, I everybody myself. So how many followers do you have on Instagram right now, roughly?
Like I said, I just started this one, so I think I'm on 51 at the moment. But on my previous one was 600 and somewhat, but I've jumped. Like I said, I'm starting fresh and with my own name right now going forward. That's how many I have.
So what you do is you make a video DM for all 51 people. Thank you for following me. I'm super excited for you to join me on this journey. I'm starting a new live coaching program. Would you like a free session with me live on Instagram for me to help you, and also your story can inspire people who are watching too?
Awesome.
That's a video.
I will definitely do it.
Yeah, like,
I love that.
Do that. That's 50 people. You do that tonight. Like, video DM. They already know who you are. You don't have to say, hey, thank you for, you introduce yourself. They're following you. And then
for sure.
Maybe you'll pick up a couple from this stream too. If you like him, go check him out.
For sure. Thanks, Evan.
I'm sending DMs. Well, like walking through Costco, walking through the grocery store. My wife is picking up stuff. I go with her, and I'm like walking through with my mask on in Costco, and just thank you. Right? I mean, it doesn't have to be fancy. It doesn't have to be ridiculous. Like,
just real.
Just real, yeah. And you can look at anybody. If you need to expand the list, you look at anybody who's left a comment on your post. Anybody who's left a heart on your post, like you look at them, same thing, video DM them, say, hey, thank you for leaving a comment on the post, appreciate you. I'm starting a new morning show or whatever. And you book your first couple weeks of people, and then if people get used to it, it'll take a life of its own, and then people will, and then some people will you could just show up, and then people will want to join in live.
And it's just a matter of like this going live and starting it at a certain time. Perfect.
Yeah, you're going to be on top and your guest will be underneath.
Okay, awesome. Not that it matters which way.
I mean, it's cool, and the beauty about Instagram is that it's not people, you're joining from your phone. It's not supposed to be with the fancy cameras and everything else. So the way you set up, fantastic.
Yeah, and it's just a bit, I find the other ways are staged. It can come across too staged or something like that, where this and what I've been watching from it is very real and live, like you say. I mean, that's what it is. You're
going to be great at that. That part you'll be great at. Like, you don't have a presence of like fakeness or having to be professional or but like, your stuff, and it's like, hey, I'm help and serve. It's just a matter of getting it out there. So I think you'll crush it. It's just a matter of booking your first couple weeks of guests.
Yeah, and I'll try that. And it's always been, I think, that thing before is like, does one know enough to help and serve, and what do you know, and what you're going to talk about, what would you say, what would you actually help them through? And it's actually, and that was this process of befriending each and everything and looking at the lessons learned and say, hell, I can actually help. Now it's about taking action and doing.
Yeah, pause that thought for 1 second. It's like, do I know enough to help? If you're talking about being a friend to somebody, just listening is helping.
Yeah, exactly. Just being there to hear.
Like, the people you book on, they may have never told anybody in their life some of the things that they're going to tell you.
Yeah, exactly.
Like, you may not know what to do. Somebody comes on and tells you some crazy story about how their mom killed their dad and now they're, you know, it's like,
Yeah.
But just listening to them, you don't have to give them the advice. Just say, hey, thank you
Of
for
course.
sharing. Like, that's value alone.
Yeah, yeah. And I mean, this whole befriend thing came is that I lost my best friend, my brother, like 5 years ago. We were 35. He was sick. He got sick. And the whole thing that happened was actually quite crazy. I have him tattooed, a W over there for Warren. I don't know if you can see.
Yeah.
But he was in the party industry, and my party friend, we used to be invited everywhere, danced a lot. And since his death, I never even went and danced. I haven't danced, really. You know, I haven't had my dancing shoes on. Haven't felt even the want to do it. And that's when I felt the lowest and the loneliest I ever have, besides my wife and my brothers and friends and things, but him, who I could be myself. In losing him, and only now, of the 5 years, realizing how much of a role he played as my best friend, and missing that is what got me to this, you know, because I had to go within and say, okay, can I now be with myself? Because this is a guy I spoke to and saw every single day of my life. Your person, as you can say, you know, and that's helped me start analyzing and how did I get through from there, where it was my lowest of the low, to where I am now, and actually just awesome again in myself and where I'm at, you know.
Do you know Ben Shapiro?
Yes.
So he's a right-wing author, but I don't know what you call him, speaker, analyst. Whether you agree with him or not, I mean, whatever. I'm Canadian, you're South African, it doesn't really matter about American politics. But one thing I love of what he does, whenever he's about to write a book, it's often very controversial, right? Like, his stuff is very controversial.
Yeah.
When he writes a book, he comes up with his thesis of what the book is going to be. And then he goes, does town halls across America, basically saying, bring it. Here's my thesis. Tell me where I'm wrong. And he dives into the debate, and
awesome.
Politics is like nasty, right? It's like
yeah.
But he likes it because people are poking holes in his argument that makes him go home and think, to then make the book better, right?
Yeah.
Okay, that's what you're thinking when I say this. So now let me go and find more information and facts and figures and other arguments so that it's ironclad, so that when he the book, he's already discounted all of the arguments against it. So
I like that.
That's what the coaching is doing. Obviously, you're not going to be in people's face and controversial and
No, we won't. We'll listen.
But in the resistance, you'll learn a lot, and then you'll come up with new techniques that maybe you never had to use, but you develop to help them get the result that they want.
Of course, yeah. Because I mean, like you say, this has been in my own journey in understanding my message, the story, and what helped me. And then my wife was like, now, okay, take the worst moments, and you say it yourself as well, as where in your lowest times, not when it was awesome and when things are going great, those don't help. They can inspire, and they have a message, but it's when were you in your lowest moments or the hardest moments, and what did you learn there? And in that lies what we can potentially just assist somebody else going through the same thing, or might know somebody going through the same thing. So yeah.
When is Movement Makers? Is it this week or next week?
I think it's first Thursday, which would be this Thursday coming. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Cool.
What?
I want a progress report. Like, I want you to post in the group.
Yeah.
How you're out on DMing people for the show.
For sure. I'll give you a report back.
So before today, to have DM'd everybody, all of your followers. Video DM, it's literally like 10 seconds a person, right? Like 10 seconds when people, or maybe a little more by then. It's still not like hours and hours.
Nothing long. Yeah.
And then I want a progress report in the Facebook group. of like explain to people what you're doing, but then the update of, hey, I booked my first guest. Maybe even you've booked your guest for Thursday. Maybe you've already done your first coaching session. It's Monday
Well,
now. Could you have
we can only press.
Good.
It's Monday. Yeah, we hope. It's Monday now. I might just even book my wife for a first session. Take over.
I like that. The start of the show. Why not?
You know?
Yeah, I would try to book. Listen, when I came back, I started this on a Friday, like for me, for my show, on a Friday night flying from LA to Toronto. And on the flight, I was doing DMs. And I started Monday. And I booked Monday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday from my flight on Friday.
Awesome.
So Wednesday, you could put it out and maybe somebody joins you tomorrow.
Who knows? I'm open to anything happening right now because I'm an act.
Tobias Freiberg, I hope I pronounced that, says, Tariq, I follow you now. Can't wait to receive your DM. Tobias, can you go live tomorrow with Tariq? What time are you looking, Tariq? What time? When are you going to do your show?
I think I'll have to look at my time frame versus everywhere else's time frames, but I think it'll be in the morning. I'll get in touch with whoever does DM me and we can arrange from there. And then I'll figure out a time slot that works, I think, best.
Tobias, where do you live? Tobias, if you're still there, where do you live? Because your morning is like middle of the night, depending on where people are.
Yeah, exactly. Your 10:30 when we do your other show, it's 5:30 my time already. So end of work time, you know?
Oh, Antonio, let's go, wants his too. Okay, Antonio I know is in the US. Antonio. Awesome. Antonio, what time do you have tomorrow to do a live? Let's see, Antonio, or we got Ivan says same. Who can do tomorrow? Let's see. Hey, tomorrow, if somebody's in the US, you may not be able to do morning your time because that's going to be like super, super early.
Super, super early. Maybe around this time.
Okay, so, hey, Antonio. Oh, Tobias is in Germany. Oh, Tobias is in Germany. That's a little closer. Could
be closer. We could do a morning session.
Okay.
Well, I'll check my messages or whatever I've received from this Evan, and I'll arrange with them from there.
Let's go tomorrow. Germany is 6 hours, I think, from me. Yeah, I think you in Germany.
Yeah, I think they could be closer. Maybe it's 2 hours difference or something. I know the UK, anywhere in Europe or UK is an hour difference. So I don't know. Germany might be close to that.
Okay, so tomorrow, hold on. Where Antonio, are you still there? Message you still. Okay, I'm West Coast. Don't schedule when Evan's live. I'll try to be. Okay. I said Tobias first. Let's do Tobias tomorrow and Antonio on Wednesday. Antonio, what time on Wednesday work for you? Let us know, Antonio. This time, so 2 o'clock Eastern is 11 a.m. Pacific. 11 a.m. Pacific. Does that work for you, Antonio, on Wednesday? You're going to talk about friend. You get some free coaching. Okay, I want Wednesday, Antonio, at 11 Pacific, which is 9 p.m. South Africa. This is going global. I love it. And Tobias, tomorrow morning, what are you thinking? 9 o'clock?
9 o'clock in the morning? We can do that.
9 o'clock?
9 o'clock my time, or even let's say 8:30 my time.
8:30 South Africa time. Tobias, does that work for you in Germany? I don't know if that's 8:30 or 7:30. Let's see if that works. Okay. Antonio's saying, can we do 11:30 Pacific? 11:30 Pacific is... Oh, he doesn't want to do it on top of mine. That's why.
Oh, yeah. Well, then that makes it 9:30. It's perfect. We can go after you, Evan.
Wednesday.
It would work out to be. Would work out to be, I think, 9:30 my time, 11:30 his time, and we won't miss yours.
There we go. Okay, Antonio, I appreciate you. I love you, man. That's awesome. Okay, so Wednesday,
awesome.
30 Pacific, 9:30 South Africa time. Tune in and watch these two guys learn how to be your own. I love it. So Wednesday confirmed. You guys still DM Antonio, and you guys DM each other. Well, listen, Tariq's going to be DMing everybody anyway on video before Wednesday.
I'll be doing it. For
I
sure.
love it. Germany is 1 hour ahead of
Awesome.
me. Yes, but Tariq is not in England. He's in South Africa, so I'm not quite
I'm in
sure.
South Africa. So it's an hour, from what I know, my mother-in-law stays in London, and that she's always I think it's an hour behind or an hour ahead of us, but I know it's an hour.
Okay, I love it.
Yeah.
Okay, Antonio's in. I love it. Okay, so good. So in Movement Makers, then, I want the link to the IG Live that you guys do together. Ideally both, but Antonio's for sure, guaranteed that he's in.
Awesome. I'm going to figure out how to do all of this and get everything sorted. Like I say, I am fresh to all of this, so I will do my best to capture everything and let you know.
You're going to crush it. It'll just be like getting into the pool. And you're going to crush it.
You never forget that.
All right. Because he's good. All right, it's happening. Momentum. All right. Thank you, man. Appreciate the love and super pumped to see you go on this journey. And Antonio's going to be a great guest. He's been on here and before. You're gonna have a lot of fun.
Awesome. But yeah, I can't thank you enough, Evan. Just keep being awesome.
Take care, man. I look forward to the update Thursday.
Later. Will do. Cheers.
All right. What's up, man? Cheers.
Bye. Peace.